Hey there, is it Move with Renata? Hey, Move with Renata, how are you doing? Hello and welcome, Pink Warrior. How are you doing? Mommy can see you. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening, everybody. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing, Miss Renata? How are you doing this evening? Hey, Bella. Oh, excuse me, Bella Prune. Hello, Naomi. How are you doing? Hello, everyone. Good evening to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, is D Australia. Hey, from down under. D Roll. How are you? One thing on my bucket list is to get to Australia one day. Hey, Crystal and Sherelle and Melinda and Kelly. Hey, Just Be Real. How are you? Hey, Allison. I do have a bucket list. I want to come to Australia one day. I also want to go to England. I want to come to England. Melbourne, Australia. Okay. Hello. Hello. And Erica and Michelle and Norma from Canada. Hey there, Danielle. Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what we should say in the military. Hey, Trey. And how are you doing? And Mary. Hey, Tesha. I actually get to put a face to your name now. Beautiful lady. Hey, Jesus Betty. Jesus girl Betty. How are you? I actually can put a face with Tesha's name now. Beautiful young lady, beautiful, beautiful young lady. Demetrius, Jessica, April, Napa, California. Okay, I'll be in California next year. Hey, Brooke. Thank you. I just be your NDV Healing Support. Hey there. Hey, Miss Teresa. Talking Fancy. Brooke, Facebook user from Michigan. How are you? How are you doing? From Michigan. That's what I'm talking about. New York City. I finally made up my mind. I'm going to be in New York in 2024. So next year's California. The year after that is New York. So those of you that are in New York and New Jersey, I will be there. So I'll be on the East Coast. In 2024, I'll be in New York. And I appreciate you sharing that. But if you could please refrain from advertising your material on my site. Okay. Please ask me for permission before you do that. Please ask me for permission before you do that. I don't. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, please ask for permission before you do that. Please don't advertise. Give me a minute. Michigan, how are you? Oh, my bad. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, please ask. I love you too, son. I see you. I love you too, son. Give me just a minute. Seattle. Okay, Seattle. I see you, Olana from the UK. That's where I want to come. Give me just a minute. I have to scroll. Give me a second. I'm trying to scroll through my live. But if you could please delete that. I do not allow, and I know I understand that you're doing it, but please do not advertise on my channel unless you first ask for my permission. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me look through here. Give me a second. Okay, give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me scroll through here. But just be real. If you could please, Demetrius, if you can go back up there and please delete that. If not, if Just Be Real can delete that, I'm not sure if you can or not. Give me a second. Give me just a second, but please delete that because I do not allow anyone to advertise their material unless I give you permission to do that. So in actuality, that would be rather rude. So please delete that. Now's a hold up on my. It won't let you go back. Yeah, it won't let me go back either. So Demetrius, please go back and delete that, please. Please go back and delete that. Because if you don't delete that, then I'm gonna end up blocking you. But please don't advertise on my live feeds or on my channel unless I give you permission to advertise. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So you give me the courtesy of asking first before you advertise, okay? And I appreciate you. Oh, no problem. I don't take it as disrespectful. I'm just letting you know. Okay. You have to scroll up, but out of courtesy, please don't, ask me first. And then your comment is under Aaliyah's comment. But if you scroll up, thank you, Tufana. But yes, please. Okay, if you scroll up, but before anybody ever advertises your material, ask for permission first. Ask for permission first before you advertise your material on my site. I take that as, can't see it, okay. But I take that as being disrespectful. No, you, Demetrius, you are on live chat. So you are on live chat. And I don't know how you ended up on live chat, but hold on, Teresa, how'd I get you up here? Well, I'm so glad, Teresa, that you caught me live too. I don't know how that happened, but there you go. Your comment is up there. So thank you so much for being here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep on saying hello to everybody. Fresno, California. Okay. Talia, Difficult Conversations. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Let's see. LaRonda, We Craft Design Studio. Thank you. Hey, Nina, how are you doing? Difficult Conversation. Yes, I always ask. You don't know who we are to know if you want to endorse us. Absolutely. Yes. I don't know who you are. And when you post your stuff on my site, it looks like I'm endorsing you, and I don't know you and I don't know your material. So yes, always ask for permission first. Okay. Always ask permission first. Talia said, hi, Dr. Brian. How are you? Can't wait to meet you and everyone attending the conference. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you too. I'm excited. So those of you that have registered, you know that general session, general admissions, and VIP is now closed. And so those of you that still would like to join us on Zoom, because it will be live for a fee, just go to my link and you can purchase the Zoom. Hey, UK. So that's one of my bucket lists. I want to come to England and I want to come to Australia. Those are two. I want to go to England, Australia. I would love to go to Italy, whether it's on vacation or for a speaking engagement. But I am going to. Hey, Fifi, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Caitlin, thank you so much for being here. I'm just waiting for a few people to come on. I've had some people send me a message telling me to shut up and stop greeting everybody. Well, you know me. But let's see. Hold on just a minute. Let me go up here, because I don't want all the comments on my screen, because then I can't see. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. I'm going through here to see. Okay, give me a second. Oh, there we go. All righty. Okay, y'all, let me work with this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Australia's retirement dreams. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Some people's kids. I don't know what's going on, but all right. Barbara. Well, hey, Kelly, thank you for being here for the first time. How are you? Hey, Denise, how are you doing? Y'all give me just a minute. Just be able to say, excuse me. Yep. If people come on and they tell me shut up and stop greeting you guys and taking so long to greet people, I just think it's courtesy. And you know me, I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bianca said, I need some auntie talk, going through and trying to figure this thing out. How are I'm doing good. Thank you for being here. Veronica, well, auntie going to talk to y'all. Auntie going to talk to y'all. Oh, thank you, Miss Melissa. I appreciate you. Well, you guys ready? So, I do my little greetings while we're on live. And those of you that have, oh, this charged pretty quick. All right. So those of you that have Clubhouse, you're welcome to join me on Clubhouse. You guys know, as I always say, whenever I come on and do these lives on the social media where you can see me, I usually do my, my little lessons, my little teaching and everything, and then allow you guys a few minutes to ask some questions. And then I go over to Clubhouse and allow the people to talk to me. And I ask some questions. Over on Clubhouse, a lot of times we have more in-depth conversation. Hey, speaker Brandon Glaspie. Is that Pastor Brandon? How are you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you. If you guys have not, okay, Pastor Brandon, how come you ain't signed up for my conference? You're not going to come on my conference so you can watch it live? I have a phenomenal gentleman, my big brother, Marcus Monroe, actually Pastor Marcus Monroe, but Marcus Monroe, who's going to be there in person. You know, you need to make sure you come on my line. Don't be just on here supporting me, telling me, hey, I need you to come on over there and I need you to register for the online conference. So I need to see you guys. So you guys know I'll be in California next year, and I made up my mind I'm going to be in New York in 2024. So California and New York. So those are the next 2 years. I'll be in California, Los Angeles, California next year. So prepare yourselves. And I will be in New York in 2024. So I need to connect with my New York people, find out who all is over there in New York that's willing to help me out when I come to New York. And of course, my California people, I get to meet my California people. So you guys ready? I just wanted to give a few moments. I love to connect with you with someone in Nova Scotia, Canada for a conference or seminar. Email me difficult conversations. Email me the information and let me know what you're talking about. Cause I got a team that is willing to travel with me. But if you want me to just come by myself, I'm willing to come by myself. I have no problem. So that's a long time. Well, I'll be in California. You can come out to California next year. But yeah, a difficult conversation. Email me, drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. If you would like me to come to where you are, you know, you don't have to wait for the annual conferences. You are welcome to send for me, and I will come and speak at your events. You got to fly me out there, get me a hotel. You got to pay me to speak. So you got to have yourself a budget. So you email me and let me know. I'll be honored. Thank you so much. So you guys ready? So I was just giving people time to get in here. So I'll be in Los Angeles, California next year. So me and my team will be in California next year. You'll see people like this year. You'll see people like Just Be Real. You'll see Kelly Ham. I don't know if she's here. You'll see Tasha Leelaman, who usually comes on Mondays with Apostle Sadler. You'll meet Apostle Sadler. She's going to be there. Bridget Griffin. A lot of you guys heard Bridget Griffin speak on Clubhouse, and you saw her on my interview. Marcus Monroe, I did an interview with him, and I connected Zoom, but Zoom is not connected to the other channels. So when I do interviews, I'm going to just connect to Restream because Restream connects to all the channels. So I had a difficulty. So I know a lot of you kind of missed that interview, but go back and look at the last 2, 3 maybe. But I did Marcus Monroe interview on Friday. So Marcus Monroe, I did an interview with him on Friday, and I did an interview with Bridget Griffin on Wednesday. So you guys go and look. I'm in LA, but Canada is home. Well, see, I get to meet you. Well, I get to meet you then. So I get to meet you next year. But okay, you guys ready? So I'm getting ready to start Clubhouse. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my regular spiel like I always do. And you guys ready? So I'm gonna go ahead and start Clubhouse. So those of you guys that have Clubhouse, you are welcome to join me on Clubhouse. Let me find myself on Clubhouse. There we go. So those of you that are on Clubhouse, you are welcome. Hey, Barbette. I hope to see you over here in Clubhouse. In Clubhouse, we have a little time to be more intimate. These are recorded conversations. So I've had somebody in the I think it's in the what's it called? Hold on, let me look. In the room chat. So like a lot of times people will go over to the room chat to type messages. And I had somebody inform me that they do not, I understand when people come in and they said, I do not approve or allow a recording of, hold on, what did they say? I do not approve of recording because I don't know. Hold on, let me think. The statement was, I do not authorize recording. So if you are a person that is on Clubhouse, or if you are on not just Clubhouse, but if you are on Clubhouse or in any social media and you do not authorize recording, then my advice to you is to get off of Clubhouse or to get off of social media, because these conversations are recorded. Even in Clubhouse, if you're having a personal conversation with me, not only do everybody in Clubhouse hear you, but it is recorded so they can go back and listen to you on Clubhouse again. So if you send me a message saying that you do not authorize recording, then my advice to you, and that's not to be mean, is to get off Clubhouse, get off of social media, because most of these are recorded. Mine are recorded so people can come back and listen to it. And on Clubhouse, when we close down, normally we have more intimate conversations because I have an opportunity to talk to people individually. So you are welcome to come over to Clubhouse. Well, I know that was a lot. And then people always remind me, like, when I started talking, don't nobody care, because we're going to greet our family. We're going to greet our tribe, right? What do they do? We're going to greet our tribe. The hand snap. All right, you guys ready? Thank you so much. All right, well, you're just one of them. So let's go on and get you off of here. You don't have to be here either, baby girl. You do not have to be here either. And we're going to go ahead and get you out of there. There you go. You don't have to be here. So, all right. So the topic for tonight, and hello, Clubhouse. How's everybody doing? So the topic for tonight is selling your soul to the narcissist. Well, that sounds like selling your soul to the devil, huh? Some of you guys like, yep. So this is what I want you guys to do tonight. Tonight, we're going to be just a tad bit interactive. So what I want you to do, all of you guys that are listening, I should have said it earlier, go and shows a lot of who you are greeting us all. I'm definitely staying out. Well, you just do that, honey. Stay on out of there. There you go. But what I need you guys to do is get a piece of paper, get something to write on, whether you type it on your telephone or whether you are writing or something like that. Get yourself something to write, because tonight I want you guys to be, I want you, when I say interactive, I want you guys to act. I want you guys to work with me, because I'm working with you tonight. Hey, beautiful one. How are you? So I want you guys to get a piece of paper or get your telephone, something that you can, type on or something like that, because I want you to write some stuff down. Now, keep in mind, excuse me, my hair, I had a long day, so it's just really big. So I got my Shaka Khan on today. But so listen, so I want you guys to get something to write, get something to type and text on, get something that you can, write on or something like that. So because I want you guys to really, I want you to take an inventory of yourself. This is something that we do in therapy, but please do know this is a disclaimer. This is not therapy. This is for informational purposes only. This does not take the place of mental health therapy, counseling. This does not take the place of medical help or anything like that. I want you to make sure that you get a mental health therapist. This is for informational purposes only, and this is not an answer to everything, okay? So make sure you know this for informational purposes only. This does not take away from the fact that some of you do need to go find a therapist, a mental health provider to assist you. But get a piece of paper. I want you guys to work with me, okay? And I want you guys to be honest with yourselves. I want you guys to take an inventory of yourself, okay? Because, I'm not going to point my fingers at you, make it seem like you're the only one, because I include myself in this, because as many of you guys know, I too am a survivor of narcissist abuse. Many years, I'm in my 50s. And so, many years of narcissist abuse. And 22 years in a narcissistic relationship or situationship. I was married for 20 years with the person for 22. He wasn't, but so you guys know I do have marital experience. So I'm not coming to you guys not knowing something, but at the same time, as a child growing up, as a teenager growing up, I have children, and also I was in the military, in the ministry. And so I not only do I get to talk to people, I'm also a therapist. So I get to see this play out inside of therapy. And so what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and get ready, because I want you to be honest with yourself. Get into a private place. You don't have to share this information with anybody. People that are on here, you don't have to respond or put anything in here if it hits you. And if I'm talking to you, I want you to be honest with yourself. Just like in AA, when a person goes in, first of all, in order to help a person heal from a problem, they got to admit that they have a problem, right? In order to heal from something, sometimes the hardest thing, and I said it yesterday when we were in the webinars, one of the hardest thing is to break through the denial, because a lot of people are in denial because of embarrassment, because of anything. You don't want to look weak. You don't want to feel, but a lot of this is going to pertain to you. And I want you to write down, I want you to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and I want you to write down the truth. Okay, first of all, let's understand when I say selling your soul to the narcissist. First thing we have to do is understand, hey, Carl, how are you doing, sir? Thank you so much for being here. First thing I want you to understand, let's talk about the definition of sell. Now, if the definition resonates with you, just write it down. because it may resonate with you, and if you need me to say it twice, I'll say it twice. Okay. It's going to get from a definition to a deeper definition. You can wait to the bottom definitions. Okay. So, but if it resonates with you, write down if this pertains to you and be honest with yourself. Okay. Be honest with yourself when you do it. Okay. So the first definition is to sell goods to or to render services for another in exchange for money. That's normally how we know, okay? And we'll put in place of to transfer goods to or to render services for another in exchange of something. To give something to someone, to give something to someone else in return of what? And write that down. If that's, we'll get into it into a minute. So you don't have to put the what in there yet, okay? To give something to someone else in return of what? In return of what? Okay, just put a question mark. Put what in question mark. To give for a price. And I want you to think for a minute. To give for a price. What was the price? What was the price you paid? The activity, and like I said, if you put in the what, that's fine, but give me a moment. So the activity of persuading someone to buy. Sell means the activity of persuading someone else to buy. What are they buying? And how are they persuading you? To be sold at a certain price or in a certain way. You see, it's getting deeper now, right? To be sold at a certain price. What is that price? Or in a certain way. Okay? Now listen. I'm letting you know now, if you feel the unction or the urge to send me a cash app, I'm trying to help y'all out. This right here is $250 per hour. So my sessions start at $275 for therapy. That's for therapy. Coaching is different, but for therapy, that's $275 for the initial appointment and $250 an hour. So I want you to look at my cash app and I want you to think for yourself, what is the price that you're willing to pay for the information that you're getting for free? Because you're getting this for free. It's for information purposes, but going to change your life. A lot of people been on here and y'all don't be stingy. If you feel like that I'm doing something, come on, put something on the cash app for me. Help me out. Help a sister out. I'm doing this for you, to be sold at a certain price. What is that price? Or in a certain way. What way? To persuade someone to accept something. To sell means to persuade someone to accept something. Okay? To give up for a price or a reward. It's up there at the top, Barbara. It's $PHCS LLC. Charcetto, you put the wrong one up there. Is cash sign PHCS LLC. But to give up for a price or a reward. What price and what reward are you looking for? So another definition is be approved of or gain acceptance. Be approved of or gain acceptance. And the last one is to make something available to be bought. To make something available to be bought. So now, I'm going to give you some examples. And I want you to write down, if some of these definitions resonated with you, because a soul, and I understand that everybody has their own definition of what a soul is. And we're just going to go today for this right here. We're going to go with the definition of, the definition I'm going to give you. Whatever your definition is, you write your definition down. Soul is your will, your thought processes, your emotions, and think about it. What your will, okay, hold on, let me put it the right way. What did you sell, or how did another person override your will and superimpose their will on you? People, and I'm just going to say this now so I can keep my train of thought. When you think you love someone in the best way that you thought that you love someone, and for some of you guys, it was love. The only way that you knew how to love, and the only way that you knew how to love is to make someone love you. You can't make anybody love you, or to sell yourself, or to do anything you possibly can do. To sell your soul means you'll do anything in order to get what from the narcissist. And for some of you, you have holes in your heart. I mean, come on, I'm a part of that family. Not anymore, but I'm just saying I was a part of that family. You know, you have holes in your heart. Some of you guys have been rejected. Some of you guys have been abandoned. Some of you guys have abused and misused. Some of you guys come out of homes with abuse. That's all you know. You know, that's all you ever know. So that's what you are. That's what you gravitate to, because that is your familiar. That's all you know. And so all you know, especially dealing with a narcissist in the home, like as a parent, for example, you know that it doesn't matter what you do. No matter what you do, it was never good enough. And so even with a parent, you know, your foundation, you had to earn their love. And so, hey there, Miss Karen, but you had to earn their love. So while, you know, you grew up knowing that in order for my parent to love me, to pay attention to me, you had to learn to manipulate too. But you knew that you had to, and they put it out there that you had to earn their love. It just was not free. You know, in a parent and a child relationship, a child should never have to earn your love. You love them. You know, you love them. They don't have to work for your love. That you grew up knowing that you had to work to gain their love, to gain their attention. And so as you get older, some of you traded sex. A woman will give sex will promise sex in order to, let me put it the right way, how my mentor put it. A woman will give up sex in hopes of a relationship and love. So you're selling sex. Think about it. You're selling sex in exchange for, you will love me, you will make me feel secure, you will be with me, you will stay with me. They will even sell their body. I will give you children in hopes that you will stay with me, in hopes that we can make this work. If I have children, maybe you will stay with me, right? Some of you actually, and I'm not saying it's all of you guys. Like I said, remember, this is very personal. For some of you guys, you don't ever want to tell your secrets. Some of you guys have secrets, and I don't ask you to share those secrets. But some of you guys have even lost your children to CPS, trying to hold on to a narcissist, trying to hold on to a man or a woman. In order to hold on to that man or a woman, you were willing to give up your children because they made you feel like those children were in the way. They were jealous of the children, and they had no problem causing problems in hopes that you would lose your children, because that was supposed to be the closest thing and the most precious thing to you. But in order to have them in your life, get any of their attention, for them to give you any attention, you were so thirsty or so hungry for their attention, you were willing to give up your children because you thought your children were going to keep them. But what happened is you assumed that those children happened to be, you thought that those children were now in the way, because now that the children are in the way, now that narcissist is not paying attention to you. So you were willing. And it may not be, willing in a sense of, yeah, let me just go ahead and give them up. But you struggled and you allowed your children to be taken away from CPS. And then when you got older and you came to your senses, you look back and realize this person never loved me. And I done sold my children. I done sold my soul. And now I don't have a relationship with my children. Some of you sold your children to a point where you ignored those kids. Those kids were sitting in your house and you were so focused and so intentional of trying to do whatever that narcissist wanted you to do that you lost your relationship with your children, and your children grew up and now your children don't want anything to do with you. Some of you guys, those narcissists isolated you. They told you that there was a price to pay to be with them and to get their attention. And what you did is you cut your own family off. You cut your family off and you became isolated and disconnected from all your family. Some of you are still in the situation, and some of you came to your senses. And by the time you came to your senses, in the process of trying to determine whether or not you should leave or not, the narcissist was able to throw in your face, you ain't got nobody. Nobody cares. You don't have nobody to call. You have nobody that's going to help you. There's nobody out there to help you. You know why? Because you were willing to sell. In other words, give up your family in order to follow this narcissist away from your support system and away from your family. And so the hardest part trying to leave is thinking that there was nobody there for you. And some of your family was just waiting for you to wake up. And then when you reached out to your family, you found out your family was really there. And for some of you guys, you don't know whether your family is really there. And some of you guys have been so disconnected that coming out of a relationship with that narcissist, you feel alone, you feel isolated again, because you don't know whether the people that they carried on with life, they went on with life, and you don't even know whether they're there for you. There's no relationship there anymore. There are some of you that, and I don't mean this to insult anyone or to make you feel bad about the comment, but someone actually had a comment. You remember when you put a comment on Facebook under any of my posts, it goes global. So everybody can see your comment and everybody can see your question. But I had a young lady, and I don't recall her name, but I had a young lady say, what did she say? She said, what do I need to do to make them love me? Right there lets me know that it was open for negotiation, that all she was asking for is, what price do I need to pay to get them to love me? And really what that was letting me know is that you're willing to do anything for them to love you. And a narcissist is not capable of loving you. A narcissist does not have the capacity of loving you. But some of you guys, what do I need to do? What must I do? What do you mean, what do you need to do? There's nothing you can do to make that narcissist love you. They don't even love themselves, much less you or anything connected to you, their children or anything else. They're sources of supply. They are sources of supply that provide them with fuel to make them, look good, make them, but provide them with fuel. And so you have to remember that there's nothing that you can do to win over a narcissist. But a lot of you are stuck in this cycle. Think about it. What are you selling? What are you willing to sacrifice to have this person call you, to have this person talk to you at least one more time, to have this person cuss you out at least one more time? Some of you have sacrificed your mental health. Some of you have sacrificed your physical health. Some of you have sacrificed your families, your children. Some of you guys have sacrificed your health. Some of you are struggling in your health. You won't disconnect, but by connecting, by staying connected to you, is killing you on the inside. You are dying from the inside out. Some of you guys have had psychotic episodes. Some of you guys don't even know why. Severe depression, you can go into psychosis. If you go into psychosis enough, or what you hear is that I had a nervous breakdown, you go into psychotic episodes. Some of you guys have ended up in the ER. Some of you guys have ended up in inpatient treatment, and you wonder why, I don't know, I disconnected with reality. You dissociated. You have psychotic episodes. If your brain keeps going, if your mind keeps going into psychosis, eventually you're going to get to a point where you get stuck in there and you can't come back out. You will get stuck in your mind because, when you talk about psychotic episodes and mental health issues and things like that, triggers and trauma, that's because of the fact that the stress that you're experiencing in your body, and we talked about that on the webinar, so I can't give you all the information, but the stress that you are experiencing, your body cannot handle that stress. That body cannot handle that stress. That's what trauma is. When you get to a point where the stress that you are dealing with is so intense that your body no longer can handle that stress, and your body begins to break down. Your body begins to break down psychologically, and your body begins to break down physiologically. Those of you that missed the webinar yesterday, I'm telling you, that webinar was off the chain, because we really went in depth about what trauma is and how it affects your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. How it affects, how this type of emotional abuse and psychological trauma, affects your nervous system, and what all is connected to your nervous system, and why some of you guys are walking around with high blood pressure, diabetes, and all sorts of stuff like that. The portions of your brain that is affected and disconnected. And, and the brain trauma, really the brain trauma that people are experiencing. When we do these webinars, hey, just like we said yesterday, some of these webinars, if you go look at PESI. Look at PESI. This is a training that is required for therapists to maintain our license. Every 2 years, we have to get training. Some of the fees that we pay is anywhere between $299, $399, $799 to $1,000 something, $2,000, almost $4,000 for some of the courses that we take. And when these are offered for like $75, y'all, and it was 3 hours, and people are getting personal touch in here, personal touch, where they're actually getting information that is healing them. Y'all don't take advantage of that. Don't always assume that everything is free. It costs a price for these people to come on and teach, the education that they got. Shoot, my degree cost $96,000. That piece of paper, which is about this big, cost me is the knowledge that I got, $96,000. And you guys, you got experts on there, for $75. You can't pay $75. To get this life-changing information that for some of you guys, let me tell you guys something. There are people, that when I first started the channel, just emailed me. And they were like, listen, lady, I don't know who you are. One person that tried to hang themselves and it failed. And they were like, lady, I don't know who you are, but I just tried to hang myself. And I just cut my wrist and I'm sitting here bleeding. I was just waiting to die. And your video popped up. I don't know you. I'm not subscribed to you, but you were talking about my situation right then. Had another lady said that she tried to overdose. It didn't work. And my video just popped up. I've had people say that, where I was at one point in time, one of the ladies was being held hostage and said that, one of your videos popped up and it gave me encouragement. I watched and finally fled my abuser, and relocated in hiding. And so don't take advantage, when that's offered to you, take it. Because the information you get is worth thousands of dollars. If you don't want to invest in yourself, don't get mad if you're still stuck where you are, but just like, well, I'm glad you're here too, Shivandra. Well, I'm glad you're here too. But, but I want you to look at just that little bit that we just talked about for a minute and just be honest with yourself. Do an inventory and be honest. Because some of you guys are embarrassed, and that's understandable. You're dealing with the shame, you're dealing with embarrassment, you're dealing with humiliation, you're dealing with a smear campaign. But I want you to look at that piece of paper, and then I want you to remember, okay, what did I do? Now that you look back at it, what I lost, if you write it down, I lost my business, I lost my house, I almost lost my mind, I lost finances. I may have been wealthy at one time. I lost all my finances. I lost my retirement. What did you lose? What did you sell in order to make this person try to love you? And it still didn't work. And now you're looking like, wow, I had a beautiful home. I had a car. I had this and that and this. And I gave all that up for this fool. And I didn't even know. And I was blind. Write it down. Some people, honestly, no, Fifi, it wasn't. But some people, like I said, I know people that have lost their children to CPS because they refuse to give up the narcissist. They rather give up their babies than to give up that narcissist. They keep going back. They don't puncture their eye. They don't went blind. They don't stab them. They don't cut them. They don't shot them. And they went back. They're trauma bonded. And that's understandable. But what did you do? No matter how much I give, why isn't this person loving me? No matter how much I give up, why isn't this person loving me? Because they're not capable of loving you. They don't have the capacity of loving you. They don't even like themselves. You know what I mean? They don't even like themselves. So what makes you think they'll like you? You are there for a purpose. You serve a purpose. And their purpose is to get fuel out of you whatever way they can. The ultimate sacrifice that a narcissist that would give them the ultimate high momentarily, maybe for a few days, is a person, and let me make sure I stay appropriate on the social medias, but when a person is no longer alive, put it that way, when you yourself are responsible for your own life at your own hands, for them, that is an ultimate sacrifice. You have just laid yourself at the altar of the narcissist, and that narcissist is going to get a high for a while. Number one, people are going to call that narcissist and ask them if they're okay. So they're getting all their attention. all the attention of the people. It's all about them. Funeral arrangement, people were worried about them. Do you need anything? You know, do you need us to come over there? They're hugging on them, making them feel good, all that fuel that they're getting. And they're like Hannibal Lecter. They're getting high off of that. We're going to come by and check on you. That is the ultimate sacrifice for someone to sacrifice their life to show this narcissist, now do you believe me? I love you. And that narcissist doesn't care. You gave up their life. And that, by you doing that, gave them ultimate fuel. Ooh, Lord, almost knocked over my light. But that's the ultimate sacrifice, because that's the ultimate maximum amount of fuel they're going to get from people. But after a while, after a few months, people are going to slowly start dissipating. They're going to slowly go away. So they got to find another victim, because now the fuel, that's the ultimate fuel. Now the fuel is going to start to go down. So when that fuel lever goes down, guess what? They got to go find some more fuel. Guess what? Now, everything that you worked so hard for, that insurance policy that you had, that house that you had, that beautiful car that you had, guess what? Somebody else is going to be in it now. It sounds harsh, but somebody else is going to be enjoying it. And they're going to play that. Oh, I love them. No, they didn't. Oh, you know what? And who was a difficult conversation? This is horrifically true. Yeah. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Yeah. They will be on to their next. Joni said they'll be on to their next. Yep. Deontay. Hey, Deontay, how are you? It's funny that you say that. Just yesterday, my ex told me that she would have to let me off herself. Look at there. See? The ultimate sacrifice. Elm said, this is so demonic. Thankful to be away. Good job. Good job. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? So, all right. I didn't want to stay on too long, but let's go ahead. If you guys have some questions, talk to me. Ask me some questions, and then I'm going to move on to Clubhouse. Clubhouse, give me just a minute. I'm going to answer some questions here on the visual of social media, and then I will come over to Clubhouse to answer some questions, okay? And then I'll take some questions over here on Clubhouse as soon as I'm done answering the questions over here, okay? So you guys want to ask some questions? Sabrina said, I'm speaking the truth. Thank you. What's your take on love bombing? I got a video on love bombing. Love bombing is just to pull you in. And love bombing is that ultimate, it's almost like that ultimate euphoric orgasm that you get. And that's what pulls you in to make you think that this is like I've never experienced before. I've never been loved this way. I've never been treated this way. Everything because of the fact that they're not building a rapport with you. They're interrogating you and they're mirroring you. And you're looking at your own self and how wonderful you are. You know what I mean? Of course you'll be yourself. I'm myself again. Yeah, that's 22. Well, I can't even say 22 years. I'm 40 odd. I'm in my 50s, 40 odd years. You know what I mean? 40 plus years. I'm glad you got away too. Narcissists are emotional criminals. They're emotional vampires. They're parasites. Unfortunately, I hate to say it like that, but, especially because of the fact that I'm dealing with a lot of you guys as survivors, they are emotional parasites. Thank you so much, Tesha. I appreciate you. Thank you. But they're unfortunately, they are parasitic. They are parasites. They are parasites. Carl said, I'm kind of lost for words. Well, I'm glad, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Dr. C, what do you do when the kids are involved? Because you still have to see this person. I mean, hey, I'm in the same situation. You have to do what the court system says. There's nothing you can do about it. And you can't go into the court system telling people that this is a narcissist. You have to be your true, authentic self. And every time your child gets home, don't compete with a narcissist. That narcissist may have money. So, you as a single parent now are taking care of a child. That narcissist may have money. So they're going to be like the super dad or the super mom. And, and the thing about it is they're going to do things. And, kids that young, they're going to buy them. They're going to throw money at them and everything. But let me tell you something. You even as children, when you were children, you remember this. The most memorable time that you spent with somebody is the quality time they invested in you. How your grandmama taught you how to cook. How, Auntie so-and-so taught you how to make that peach cobbler. When you would, with a healthy mother or a healthy parent, And, they taught you how to make, this is my mama's greens. Or I remember my mom talking to me and saying this, or my grandmama telling me this right here. It's not the money that they threw at you, because I guarantee you probably don't remember half the stuff they bought you and the money that they gave you. But what you do remember is that quality time. So for those of you that are having to counter parent with this narcissist, you have to remember, you got to be your authentic self. Stop competing with that narcissist and trying to one up the narcissist by making sure that if they buy this, you buy this. They take them on trips, you take them. Some of y'all can't afford that. You ain't got the money to do all that, but you spending authentic time with your children, meaning that you listen to them when they're talking, because the narcissist is not listening to them. They pretend like it, but eventually as you get older, as kids get older, they'll know that the person is not really listening to them. They'll even say it themselves. Trust me, they'll say it themselves. And what you do is when your child wants to talk, turn the radio down. I always practice this. When my daughter wants to talk to me, I turn the volume down and I listen to what she got to say. Whatever I'm listening to, I'll pause it and I give her my undivided attention. When she wants to talk about somebody, I listen to her opinions. I ask her questions. So I validate her. I make her feel like that she's being heard. She's being heard. I laugh and joke with her. I spend quality time. If she want to go somewhere, she wants to do it with me and her. So me and her go to the movies together. She wants to go shopping. I'll go, child. I ain't trying to walk around that big old mall, but for her, I will walk around the mall. She asks me questions about clothes. She's a teenager and asks me questions about them clothes and stuff, So what I'm telling you guys is quality time. Quality time is going to override authenticity. Being authentic with your children, being there, listening to them, parenting them. You are not your child's friend. Stop trying to be their friend to try to win them from the narcissist. That's what the narcissist is doing. Stop being their friend and be their parent. That's why so many kids join gangs, because gangs have rules. They need to make sure when you at home, you give them chores, age appropriate chores. When they need to be corrected, you make sure you have boundaries and you make sure there are consequences to their actions. If they're not doing something, because you're teaching them for life. You have to teach them in life that there are consequences for your actions. When you do something, if you have the money, let them see that, number one, there are consequences to your actions. At the same time, when you do something, there's something in exchange for what you're doing. So that when you teach, you teach them responsibility, you hold them accountable, you make them responsible. Get your tail out of that bed and go down there and wash them dishes. Oh no, you ain't laying in your room all day. Well, dad or mom don't make me do that. I don't care what goes on in your mom and dad's house, but in this house. And then you have to be prepared, because, teenagers can be very manipulative. You will think they're a narcissist. They can be very, very manipulative. Well, dad and mom do. I much rather stay over there. That's fine with me, but I got custody of you. And so because I got custody of you until you are an adult, then you can go make your decision to go stay with your mother or your father. But while you are in this house, this is what you're going to do. And trust you me, they're going to grow up and have a different level of respect. And sometimes it's a matter of, winning their trust back, winning their respect back. And it takes time and it's not easy. Remember, that's not easy. That is not an easy task, because sometimes you want to headbutt them. Sometimes you want to fight them like they grown men and grown women. You got to remember, you're not in the club. You're not gangster anymore. Sometimes they got to know that you still got gangster inside of you, but you ain't gonna put your hands on them. You don't want to put your hands on them, So let's see. You're welcome, Tara. Thank you so much. You are welcome. This the trip said, thank you so much. I was losing my mind. I never knew emotional pain could hurt so deep to cause you to feel like soul body was dying. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Took me 6 months to stop crying. And I don't cry like that. I don't, a deep cry, like that type of cry. That's usually, I don't do that. I don't do that unless I'm in worship, but I don't do that, but it was 6 months. Yeah. Mr. Soundmind said, thank you, Dr. C. 4 years of listening to you changed my life. Thank you so much, sir. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. I truly appreciate you. Content creators need encouragement sometimes too. They let us know that what we're doing and, how we sacrifice it, it works for you too. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. Valerie Champion said, just be real. Would you please post a link for Clubhouse? Let me see. Artisha said, I made it out. It's heartbreaking to know that a person I love doesn't exist. It was all fake, but a game for him. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. You have to remember that during the love bombing stage, when they meet you, you meet the representative. They create this facade in the love bombing to make you fall in love. Number one, the first thing, you're welcome, Fartun. But you have to remember, in the very beginning, they don't know you. So the first representative that you meet is actually the supply that they just left. They took all their good qualities because they don't know how to approach you yet. So they take the good qualities of the old supply and they take upon their persona, and then they come and approach you. Then as they're love bombing you and talking to you, it seems like we have these wonderful talks, and you notice that you're doing more of the talking, they're asking you questions, you're giving information. And eventually what happens is they start mirroring you. So as you get pulled further in, they're mirroring you. And guess what's happening? You begin to fall in love with yourself. And see, you guys should have been in the the 2 webinars, because there is everybody has a it's called a mirror. There's a mirror neuron system, in your brain. It's called a mirror neuron. Go look up mirror neuron. But everybody has it. Oh Lord, y'all, give me just a minute. My cat. My bad, y'all. My cat over here let me throw the ball. Okay, there we go. He's chasing the ball, got up under the table and scared me. But you have to think, that they mirrored you. So if you ever had any questions of how wonderful you are, you fell in love with yourself. So you're looking back like, I couldn't understand why this person didn't love me, and I can't be that flawed. I can't be that bad. You fell in love with you. You fell in love with your qualities. And so if you ever had doubt about you, yourself, how great you are, you fell in love with you. They mirrored you, all your good qualities, and you fell in love with yourself. Yeah. Tiffany said, is it true that a lot of narcissistic people that are in therapy literally use tools from their therapist to manipulate you or love? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why most narcissists is short-lived in therapy, because they're going to try to manipulate the therapist too. And they try to get they're going to give their side of the story, which is so pitiful and so sad. And they try to get information because they'll use the tools, or they use what the therapist says against their supply. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You are saving lives, minds. Thank you. Thank you. You are so welcome. And I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you so much. And these lights are hot, y'all. Listen. Hold on, let me touch my armpits. My armpits are wet. These lights are hot. I would turn the camera on, let y'all see. I got these lights over here, and y'all know, listen, I got my Shaka Khan on. And it's hot up under. Ooh, Lord, it's hot up under here. Yes, Lord. Now listen, so a lot of you guys that are making comments, sometimes the comments are really, really long, and it scrolls up. I know on your side, you may not see it scrolling up, but on my side, I'm connected to a lot of channels. And so it's scrolling up real fast. So if it's real long, I can't read it all. Thank you for bringing awareness to this. Thank you, Artisha. Thank you so much. And I appreciate it. Thank you. And you are welcome. Yep. Mine did make it through 2. See, yes, mine did make it through 2 sessions, a whole 2 sessions. See? Yep. How do I become less triggered by my narcissist therapy? You got to get to therapy. You got to get to therapy and let a therapist help you with the triggers. You need some education about it. See, you missed a class. You missed the 2 webinars. I talked about it in the webinars. What triggers are. Sharing information with a narcissist is only helping them to build a case against you. Yep. They pretend to care about your innermost thoughts, but it's not about love. It's about ammunition. Go ahead, LaTanya. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Miss LaTanya. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for being transparent and honest. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. On point, Dr. C and Pastor Helen are a blessing to humanity. Thank you so much. I'm honored that you would say that. Thank you. Mine's convinced his attorney he was innocent until she heard me speak. See? Sometimes you have to know when to speak. Yeah, sometimes you have to when to speak and when not to speak. Sometimes you have to let them make a fool of themselves, because they get frustrated when you get quiet. And when you get quiet, they do all the talking. But as long as you're doing all the talking, they stay quiet. They can't handle quiet. So if you be quiet, they're telling themselves. I'm in the middle of a divorce from a narcissist of 18 years. I have been to counseling 3 times thinking I was the problem. And see, now you know you're not, right? Yep. Dr. C, you are authentic, potent, and highly effective. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate you. And Valerie is my height. She made me feel good about myself. Big old, tall, thin self. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I got some surprises for you. Got some surprises for you at the conference this year. You're gonna be excited. Ooh, you're gonna like it. Miss Valerie, are you coming in that Friday? When you coming in? Narcissists, a master of manipulation. Absolutely. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Well, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's do this. Yep. Shirley said, yep, that's why you think you're soulmates. Absolutely. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and just take question. Oh, snap. I turned off my, oh Lord, what did I do? Oh my gosh, I messed around and turned off my oh man, I am so sorry, y'all. If you guys were just on Facebook, I accidentally turned it off. Oh, oh, forgive me, y'all. Hold on, let me turn it back on. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. I am so sorry, y'all. Please forgive me. Oh no, I didn't. Did I turn it off? Oh shoot, yes, I did. Please forgive me, you guys. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. Hold on, you guys. I actually turned off my Clubhouse. Oh man, I am so sorry. And put part 2. Oh my gosh. Y'all forgive me. I got excited and just start touching stuff. Y'all forgive me. It's hot. Okay, give me just a minute. Let me fix this. Hold on. What time is it? Y'all forgive me. Please forgive me. I done messed up all the comments. All right. Please forgive me, y'all. Let me start the room again. I'm so sorry. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. Forgive me, y'all. It's okay. I joined you on Instagram. Thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry, Tesha. Forgive me. It's unfortunate, Dr. C, that I wanted. Oh, that's right. You won't be. Oh, I had a surprise, y'all. I had a surprise for those of you that were attending VIP for my conference. I got a surprise for my VIPs, and we all excited. I am so sorry, you guys. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, y'all. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for coming back. Are therapists state specific? Yes. Yes, they are state specific. I am so sorry. Please forgive me, you guys. I was trying to hit the button. I don't know what I was hitting, really, be honest with you. I was hitting something and it just turned off. Please forgive me, everybody. Please forgive me. When will I be coming to Virginia? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure when I'm coming to Virginia. Well, number one, you can go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. And by hitting that link, you will get a 10% discount on a therapist. The therapist will be in your particular state because we cannot cross lines with our license. And so, yes, ghosting is a form of abuse, but they are in your particular state. And you will get a 10% discount by clicking on that link. And they will, offer you therapists within your state. And what you do is you ask questions. Do you understand what narcissist abuse? Clubhouse, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do that. But you ask them, do you understand what narcissist abuse is? Do you understand what trauma is? Do you understand what triggers from trauma is? Do you understand domestic violence? Send a ping. I don't know how to send the ping. I restarted it, so I'm back on Clubhouse again. So please forgive me, you guys. I hit it and it just turned off. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Is that Humanist Osahan? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I'm back on Clubhouse. My apologies. Forgive me. My finger. I just got excited and start pushing stuff, and it just what is the earliest reporting documentation of NPD? I'm not sure. And can a narcissist abuser cause their victim to? All righty. Well, that was awkward. Okay. Please be careful when you put all that stuff on there because my Facebook will pick it up as spam. So Trina, when you do all that, it'll pick it up as spam. And it will, what'll happen is it'll block your comments. So yeah. What is the R word? I have no idea. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it. Please forgive me. Oh, okay. Uh, okay, so let me scroll back down. Okay, there we go. Denise said, "Thank you. I do need a therapist for my triggers and hate of some men." I can understand. If you can use that link, or if you have insurance, you can go to Psychology Today. And when you go into Psychology Today, you can look for a specific type of therapist. You can put in trauma. You can put in, whatever you want to put in, and it will show up in your area. And remember, a lot of us therapists are now online. Some are online only. I'm online only. So when I have clients in Washington, I'm online only. I'm not in person anymore. So I do not do in person. A lot of them have changed over to non-in-person anymore. Facebook users say, "Can a narc ever get better, or it's just in their DNA?" It is not DNA. It's a mental disorder that usually started off from childhood. Well, it starts off in childhood in their developmental stages, and it develops. And by the time they get about 19 years old, it is permanent. So it is a permanent personality flaw. And as they get older, it gets worse. So there is no treatment for it. I mean, we still have researchers that are doing research on it, but they're not going to change. That is their core. That is who they are. Okay, Miss Tiffany. Let's see. There's no healing for the narcissist I choose. Yeah, there's not. Please forgive me. I don't have my glasses on. Hold on, let me lift this up a little bit so I can see. This the trip. He said, and please forgive me. Look at your picture. No, they get worse. Yep. Advice on how to tell if a therapist or a coach is narcissistic. What have you learned? The question becomes what have you learned? When you go and listen to coaches speak and we take the time to educate you, you got to take what you learned and apply it. And if you go look at my videos, a lot of my videos are very in detail, and, you can pick out, you have to learn to trust yourself. Red flags are not always just easily given to you. Red flags are oftentimes feelings like something don't sit right. You may not be able to put your finger on it. You may not be able to describe it. I don't know what it is, but something don't sit right. Something in Mashana now don't sit right. Something is off. Something I don't know. And if that's how you feel, then you like, you know what? Let me see if I can find someone else to help me. Don't because you've been in a situationship. And Clubhouse, I'm gonna go ahead and answer questions while I'm on live here too. Okay. So if you guys would like to answer questions, I'm gonna do it all simultaneously while I'm live so that everybody can hear you as you're talking to me. But don't, thank you, Miss Angela. Don't underestimate your intuition. I say this all the time. There's I like watching crime shows. I like watching crime FBI files. And for some people, like, oh my gosh, why are you watching that? A lot of times I watch it not because I want to hear whether the crime was solved or not. And I usually hope the crime was solved, but I usually want to know the mind of the person that is committing the atrocities, that is committing the crime. The person, the kidnapper, the murderer. My interest is in how do they? And so there was one, and I can't think his name is Detective something. The show's name is Detective something, and he's a retired detective. And I like the way he thinks because he goes in very detail about going with his intuition. He says, the way that I solve crime is by going with my intuition. He said, when I look at stuff, if something doesn't feel right, he says, I usually go with my intuition. He says, my intuition has never been wrong. That's how I ended up solving the majority of my cases. He said, there are some that are unsolved. They couldn't find them. But he said, most of these cases have been solved because he goes with his intuition. He says, a good cop or a good investigator goes with their intuition, and so your intuition is important. And what happens at homicide, bam, Tiffany, that's it, girl. You my girl. You're my girl. Homicide Hunter is detective, the gray-haired guy. And he has this Joe Kenda, that's him. Yes, in Colorado. Yes. Anna Marie, that's him. Yes, Joe Kenda. If you watch him, if you guys go watch Homicide Hunter, and his name is retired detective Joe Kenda. He has a very real monotone. And he's funny because he's monotone when he's funny. But if you listen to him, he really gets into the mind of people that commit these type of crimes. And if you Joe Kenda, I love listening to him. I got to go back and watch some more of his shows, but I like the way his mind thinks. And he lets you know that you have to think ahead You have to think like a criminal. You have to think ahead. And so that's the same with all of you guys. You guys have been, yeah, on ID. But you guys have to remember that. Thank you so much, Denise. You have to remember. Now I'm just let you guys know, if you guys do like the cash on YouTube, I don't get it. I don't get paid out anything, because you know you got to get $100 in order to get paid out, and I don't get it. So I apologize. But when you guys send me that, when you send me, a gift like that on YouTube, just know I don't get it. YouTube gets it. So I don't get a payout from it. I don't get anything unless it's over $100. If it's over $100, then they'll pay me out the next month. But usually I don't make anything off of my channel. So if you donate on YouTube, I hate to say this, but I don't get it. I don't get any of the money. But listen, but a lot of you guys have been in these situationships in Clubhouse. If you want to ask some questions, please feel free to ask questions. Just know that when I tap the mic and put you on, people on YouTube and Instagram, they can hear you as well. But listen, a lot of you guys were in situationships with narcissism. Remember, they gaslighted you. And when they gaslighted you, they what they did is they made you walk on eggshells. Not only did they make you walk on eggshells, they made you question your own intuition. You know that there wasn't something right about that narcissist, but they always made you feel like it was you. They gaslit you. They made you feel like you were crazy, the crazy making. And so a lot of you come out, and even though you're learning something from us, you're still very nervous with going with your decision making decisions and trusting your own intuition. But that's what the purpose of these channels, especially for me, that is the purpose, is to teach you things so that you learn to use your own intuition, teaching you things so that you are able to make distinctions and use the information, or go back and listen to the videos to make certain distinctions. Even when it comes to, therapists, there are narcissistic therapists. There are narcissist coaches. You have to remember, and some of you guys may like some of the coaches that you know for a fact are self-proclaimed or diagnosed narcissists. You got to remember that they are what they are. It sounds like that they're helping you, but you got to remember what is behind them pretending to help you, because it ain't got nothing to do with you. It got everything to do with them. It's not about helping you. What are they gaining out of it? There's always an ulterior motive behind what they're doing. They're not out there to help you. They're not out there to help the people. Come on now. That's not what they're there for. What are you learning on here? And a lot of people come and listen to this and go right back and send me a message or make comments on here and say, you need to listen to so-and-so. So-and-so is a narcissist. So-and-so is a greater narcissist. So-and-so is a self-diagnosed narcissist. Why are you sending me to your pain? They cause pain and they're all grouped up together. Why would you send me to your tormentor? Why would you go back to your tormentor to find out how they torment? Why would you go back to your tormentor to get information on how to get yourself free of torment? They want to see you tormented. So they're only going to give you enough information to love bomb. That's what they're doing. It's love bombing. They're love bombing you and wooing you. And so you're going to go to your tormentor to get information on how to recover from your tormentor. They're all grouped the same. And they all talk about each other. Come on now. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Come on now. Yeah. Right. Narcs always take. They do not give. Absolutely. So they're giving you something. What price are you paying for what they're giving you? Because one thing I can tell you, you come off the channel and you listen to them, you don't feel no peace. You don't have no resolution. You got information. But that information ain't doing nothing to give you peace. And it's not giving you nothing to give you some resolution. You know what I mean? Appreciate the narcissistic help, but consider the source. There you go. Yep. Phil Brass said, what's up, child? Inflation? Shalonda Johnson said, facts. Yep. Some give, but there's a reason. All of them give, and there's a reason. Yeah. When they're giving, there's a reason behind it. You better figure out what the reason behind it is. Can they really love? No. It's more like tease bombs. Their videos are very short and impersonal. They're impersonal. There's no love behind what they say. And some of you guys are actually empaths. And you guys as empaths, you know what? Some of you guys as empaths, you can sense it. You know that it's like a bottomless pit. It's dark. There's no emotions to it. There's no love behind what they say. You know, even with me, I'm a retired military. Hey, I do the training. I keep it real. Let's do it, soldiers. Let's do this. You know what I mean? But I know that you can sense the love behind what I do, because my whole thing, I'm gonna train you up and send you. You know, I ain't gonna send you into the enemy's hand. I'm gonna send you to teach you. I'm gonna send you and teach you how to protect yourself. We coming back out of this war alive. You know what I mean? We're coming back out of this war alive. If you guys got any questions over here on Clubhouse, please raise your hand and I will answer the questions. Even though I am on the visuals, they will hear you talking. So just to let you know, they will hear you talking. Let's see. Okay, I lost it for a minute. Okay, there we go. All right. Nicole said, thank you for allowing God to use you to make a difference in the lives of so many. May God continue. Thank you. I appreciate it. I received that. Thank you so much. Hey, Dana, how are you? Thank you so much. No peace, no respect, no love, nothing tangible, just lies and manipulation. Go ahead, Andrea. Yes, manipulation. Yes, empath. Keep trying to rationalize it away. Yep, there you go. Your soul, your dignity. Yep, yep, yep. I know love, unconditional love is the bomb. They know nothing about that. There you go. This man told me, show him I want him, and he'll show me he wants me more. We've been doing this thing for 4 years, and he never wanted me. All right. I don't do cussing, okay? You said you look like, okay. So I don't know exactly what that message meant, but I got you. God bless you too, Carl. Thank you so much. Are you military? I don't have my glasses on. Carl, are you military? It looks like Marine, but I'm not sure. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. Or are you just wearing a baseball cap? I don't have my glasses on. Picture's real small. Thank you for what you do. You are welcome. Thank you so much. It's all right, Denise. I know you're trying to express yourself, girl. I know you're trying to get it out. They hate you because they envy you. Come on, Sandra. Your gut is the rational part of your brain saying, hey, pay attention. Come on now. I was in the Navy. Oh, you were in the Navy? Okay, then. All right, sailor. My brother's retired. Well, he's not retired, but he was in the Navy too. I was Army. So I got like everybody in my family, Marine, Navy, Air Force. I got no Coast Guard. Let's see. Shatildra. Let me put you up here so they can hear you. Come on up here and let's get a question from Clubhouse. Hello there. How are you doing, beautiful lady? Oh, you're gorgeous. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Go ahead. Now, just know that everybody on Facebook and YouTube, everybody can hear you, okay?
Okay, that's fine. I've been silent for way too long.
Well, go ahead. I'm going to hold it up so they can hear you. Go ahead.
So, I guess my question would be like, I'm starting to question, am I like, because I've been like dealing with like the narcissistic abuse. It makes me feel as if maybe I'm one. I don't know.
But what makes you think you won?
I don't know. This is like, because everything that I've been going through, because I've finally decided that, hey, I feel like I want to separate from my wife, because I'm almost certain that she is one. But it's like everything that goes on in our relationship or our marriage, I'm always at fault for everything. She's never at fault for anything. So it just makes me feel like, okay, is that somewhat true? Like, I mean, maybe, I honestly feel like sometimes, like, maybe she is right, but then I'm starting to realize that that's just the manipulation that she's been doing to me for years.
Okay, let me ask you this question. How do you feel about the thought that you, and I'm just asking a question, I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying, how do you feel about the thought if you were a narcissist?
I mean, I definitely would want to be a narcissist because, I don't want to, I don't want to like empathy for anyone. Like, I mean, I feel like we all deserve empathy as humans. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. Not just me.
Right. So check this out. So are you concerned? Like, are you worried that you could be one?
Sometimes.
How much does that bother you?
It bothers me a lot because it's like, because sometimes like she has made me feel as if I've done her wrong. And when in actuality, she's actually been doing me wrong.
So think about this for just a minute. The one thing that a narcissist will do is, number one, they're going to make you feel like you're the narcissist. They take no accountability. They take no responsibility. And what you were just saying was, sounds like, anytime y'all get into something or there's a difference, you're able to take accountability of your action. You're willing to look at yourself, but it seems like she's never willing to look at herself. It seems like no matter what it is hard for her to maybe say, I'm sorry, to say,
it's
you know what?
100% true. You hit it right there.
Let's see.
It's 100% true.
Then there's a possibility that she's the narcissist, not you. And the one thing that a narcissist loves to do, that when they gaslight, it's called crazy making. They make you feel like you crazy. Yeah, they make you feel like you crazy. They make you feel like you're crazy. They make you question yourself. They make you question. And most people have narcissistic traits. Thank you so much, Barbara. But most people have narcissistic traits. Yeah, I mean, that does not make it a disorder. A disorder is a mental illness. A disorder means that it is pathological and it's not going to change. When people have narcissistic traits, we may do things, you may be a little prideful, you may be a little arrogant, you get a little something, you want to show it off, but a narcissist has a pattern. So usually they're stuck in a pattern, and no matter what relationship they get in, no matter what they do, it's to a point where you can almost calculate exactly how they are and what they're going to do. That's why they're classified. You can tell if they're somatic. You can tell if they're cerebral. There's certain things they do, and it's like this, exact, and it doesn't change. That is exactly what they're going to do no matter what. People that have narcissistic traits, they may do things, but they vacillate through different types of, some of the different traits. It's not just one thing. And so you got to remember, if you always feel like you're wrong, there's no negotiation. You're willing to listen to see what you can change about yourself. You're trying to change yourself to change the relationship, but you feel like you're the only one that's trying to make the relationship work. Then that's exactly what's happening. You're trying to fix something it takes two people to fix something. It takes two people to be in a relationship. And if you feel like you are the only one that's trying to fix it, you already headed down the hill. It's not going to work. You're just going to cycle around and it's not going to work. Because it takes two people to be in a relationship, two people to take accountability. And that doesn't sound like that's what's happening in your situation. I can barely hear you, baby girl. I think there's some wind blowing in your phone.
I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with admitting when I'm wrong because I know that I am human. I am without error. She feels as if she does nothing right. She tells me, I just mirror everybody. Like, what did she say? I'm trying to see how she put it. Like, what did she say that, she does nothing. She just reacts. She doesn't do anything to anyone. Let her tell.
But she and see, a lot of times what happens is that, sometimes we overthink situations and and we don't listen. If you listen to what she's saying, she's giving you the answers that you're looking for. When she said, I just mirror people, she just gave you an answer. She's mirroring people. That's letting you know she has no empathy. She has to watch to see how to respond and watch how people respond. And then she just takes that and mimics that.
That's true. 100%.
See? So 9 times out of 10, it's probably not you. It's her. And you're over concerned about it. You over concerned about it is her, not you.
Yeah, I feel like it's like I don't want to feel as if I'm doing her wrong. I don't want to do anyone wrong. I mean, not intentionally anyway. Because I know that I'm not perfect, but I know that she ain't perfect either. But she refuses to admit that. She refuses to see that. And I've been dealing with it for almost 6 years. I'm only 25 years old. I don't want to deal with it for 6 more years.
Well, you know what? I think you kind of got your answers. So what it is now is a matter of you having to make a decision. That's what boundaries are. Boundaries are to protect you, not the other person.
Oh, no, she doesn't like that. Only she can have. No one else can have.
Exactly. And boundaries are to protect you, not to protect the other person. Boundaries are, you remember in high school when you used to tell people, keep my name out of your mouth or I'm going to do something? That's not a boundary. A boundary is, if you keep talking to me, I'm going to cut you off. If you keep talking about me, I'm going to cut you off and this friendship is over with. That's a boundary. If you keep on, if you disrespect me one more time, I'm just cutting this whole conversation off and that's it. That's my boundary. And if you cross that boundary, you know what? You take advantage. Okay. That's a boundary. So really, I think for you, it's a matter of you're going to have to, I think that's what you're looking for. You're going to have to make a decision. And it's a hard decision because your heart is invested in it. So now you're going to have to make a decision.
Well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And thank you for trusting me with that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Let's see. Boundaries have consequences. Absolutely. On both sides. Even when we put up our boundaries, they have consequences. You may have to cut folks off. Absolutely. Let's see. Well, hey, Sandra from the UK, long time no see. I recognize that name. How are you doing? This trip said, I feel for the caller. Been there. It's hard as, I know, but you deserve more. Absolutely. And it's coming from one of our kings. He said, you deserve more. Absolutely. Difficult conversation said, queer survivor here. It's so hard to find a therapist who understands narcissism and intersectionality. Hopefully I said that right, intersectionality. Because if you really think about it for just a minute, you know, and I've told you guys before, you know, in therapy, I don't really understand all the ins and outs of the LGBTQ community. But the one thing I do understand is narcissist abuse. Narcissists does not, you know, narcissists do not have color lines, religions, sexual preferences, identification, you know, none of that. Narcissists, and it doesn't matter whether you're in the LGBTQ community plus, or if you are in the heterosexual, if you are Native American, if you're African American, if you, some of us are not even in the same country. There's some people, Ghana. All right, I see you. But there are some people that have been up here from Africa, from India, had people from Brazil, Italy, Germany, China, the UK, London, England, all across, you know, South America, all across the United States. And think about it. All of us, it sounds like each and every one of us were dating or married to the exact same person. And it didn't matter what they're Hungary. Hey, Andrea from Hungary. But it sounds like each and every person was dating the exact same person, because it sounds like everything that we say is almost identical. I've even had somebody say, were you the person that he was sleeping with? I don't know your man. And if he was a narcissist, I ain't trying to get him to know him either. That's what Peter said. That's right, sis. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, King. Yeah, but yes, what is that, Dr. C? What is this? It's a drink. I don't drink alcohol. It's a little drink. It's not alcohol though. I don't drink. Difficult conversation say it is so true. Absolutely. It seems like we all were with the same individuals, and then we look and we're like, I know it is not possible. You know, I know it is not possible. You know what I mean? Miss G said it's the same devil. No, I said, why? Oh, why is that? I say, what is that? I said, it's just a little drink. It's not no alcohol. Look, I'm trying to explain myself. Why is that? It's the same. You have to think it's the same disorder. It's the exact same disorder. Think about this for just a minute. Children that are born with Down syndromes, do they not all have some of the same characteristics? And what you notice is like the smaller, close set eyes, there are certain facial features that they have. And so it doesn't matter. They're brown, they're from India, they're from, you know, it doesn't matter, white, it doesn't matter, but they all have very similar facial features, you know. So that is a part of, you know, that, and I don't know what is called, medical condition, you know, Down syndrome. And they're all, you know, if you ever meet those with Down syndrome, they're so sweet and authentic. They're just so genuine, so sweet, so authentic, such sweet individuals. But if you say, he says same demon, different face, different place. There you go. But if you ever meet, you know, meet an individual with Down syndrome, any of that, they all have very similar features, because that is a chromosomes. There you go. But it's all very similar. If you meet people that, like, for example, have autism, you know, some of them are very talented. The lower autism to higher scale autism, you know, the high functioning autism, but a lot of them have very similar attributes. You know, they get overstimulated. They have problems with overstimulation or looking into people's faces or reading facial expressions. So a lot of them have very similar attributes. You know, you have people that you know, you can think of certain things but you have to remember that narcissistic personality disorder is a mental disorder. So if you look at the 9 traits, a lot of them have very similar, some they overlap each other. So out of the 9, it only takes, I think, 5 of them. I think it takes 5 or 6. 5, I think 5 to clinically diagnose somebody with narcissistic personality disorder. And so narcissistic personality disorder, out of those 5, there's 5 traits. I promise you that they overlap, and some of them have very similar traits. Some of them do the same thing. That's why you can distinguish the difference between like somatic, cerebral, somatic, you know. 5. Thank you, Susie. 5 of them. Yeah, autism is a spectrum, absolutely. And so is narcissism. There's narcissism, which is, you know, a definition of a behavior that goes into the more dysfunctional, pathological narcissistic personality disorder. And that's why you also have the lower, which you would call the lower, less evolved narcissist, that goes to the mid-grade narcissist, that goes to the what you would call the greater narcissist. Yeah, under the cluster B. Yeah. Do you go to Word Harvest Church? No, I go to Interest Chambers Global Ministries and in Washington under the auspices of Apostle Helen Sadler. Alcohol use disorder presents with similar traits and patterns across all, right? And a lot of them, you notice, are missing like this part of their right above the lip. I don't know what this is called. Like you have people that have like the alcohol, it's called the alcohol, I don't know what it's called, fetal alcohol syndrome. But if you look, this part of their lip, this part that indents right here, is a lot of it is smooth. A lot of it is real smooth. All right, let's see here. Hey, Ernestine. Cupid's bow. Thank you. Hey, Ms. Ernestine, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me today?
I sure can. Filtrum. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, I sure can.
This is a good topic. I like this topic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Some good information.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You learning something?
Yeah.
You say, yeah. Well, I appreciate you, little sis. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's see. Histrionic and borderline overlap on the Venn diagram. So under the cluster B personality disorders, a lot of those, they're called the dramatic, you know, you have cluster A, B, and C. And if you look at them, you got one that's more of the paranoid. And then, like, for example, the cluster B, which is narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder used to be split into psychopaths and sociopaths, and now it's put together. And so if you look, a lot of the traits kind of cross over and overlap into each other, like Ms. Susie was saying. A lot of those symptoms overlap. So sometimes what happens is when like a therapist is doing diagnosis, a lot of time what presents is like borderline. And you have to watch, because a lot of the symptoms look very much like borderline until you know, the more you watch, the more you pay attention, then, you know, later on it may start presenting, because a lot of time it does not present right away. You don't know what you're dealing with. Statistically, if you read, there's a high percentage of people that have borderline personality disorder that also has narcissistic personality disorder, and vice versa. A lot of people that have narcissistic personality disorder also have borderline personality disorder. Then a lot of them also, those that you would consider like the malignant narcissist. The malignant narcissist actually, even though all of them are malignant, but the malignant narcissist actually is the narcissist that also has the diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, you know, and that is what you would consider the malignant narcissist. But you know, even with histrionic personality disorder, you know, that dramatic, got to be seen, over very sexual overtone, very there's no depth in their conversation, very sexual. You'll notice that in the female narcissist. Female narcissist uses their sexuality a lot too. You know, there are cerebral female narcissists, but the female narcissists, like the somatic ones, they always have like a sexual overtone whenever they're trying to get something or win something or get a man or pull a woman, whatever their choice is. But, a lot of it has to do with their looks and their sexuality, and so you would think that's histrionic all by itself, but in actuality, that may be narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look. Well, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm being bipolar on top of it. Well, I'm gonna tell you this too. There's something else. Bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder look the same. They look almost the same. And there are some, me working as a mental health provider and then having worked in a mental health agency previously, in a mental health agency where I should do assessments. I used to work with a psychiatrist, and the borderline and bipolar look almost exactly alike, with borderline being more of the these are the ones they don't have boundaries. It's a love me, I hate you, come back, where are you going type of push-pull relationship. They have problems, they attach, they don't have boundaries when it comes to therapy, especially because they want to be friends with the therapist. I love you. Why don't you love me? Don't you like me? It's the borderline very up and down, up and down, up and down. With bipolar disorder, it's pretty distinguished. 3 to 4 days, maybe hypomania or manic episodes, and then maybe 2 weeks or so of major depression. With borderline is every day, up and down, up and down, up and down. Love me, hate you, I hate you, come back, where are you going? They have this attachment problem. They attach really, really quick. You notice those are the ones that get married really quick, meet someone, they get attached very, very, very quick, but yeah, they're very, very similar. Bipolar and borderline, very, very similar. And a therapist has to be very, they have to be very discerning at being able to determine or differentiate between the two. Because a lot of times I get people that have been diagnosed with bipolar and it's not bipolar, it's borderline. And medications do not work very good with borderline patients. A lot of psychiatrists and med providers, they hate having to deal with people with borderline because it is so, she was a narcissist, Susie. She was a narcissist, but having to medicate it becomes very difficult in medicating them because they can't medicate a choice. A lot of times they're trying to medicate to keep those moves from going up and down, and a lot of what they're doing is choices that they're making, a mindset. It's not an emotion. They're not, they treat symptoms. That's not a symptom. That is their behavior. That is their personality, which you can't medicate. So that's why it makes it so complicated to medicate those people that have borderline, unfortunately. Maddie said, oh my gosh, yes, that was my husband. The meds never work. Yep, exactly. Well, hey there, Nina. Good morning to you too. So y'all, Clubhouse, it is open for questions. I'm going to be on for just a few more minutes. You can ask some questions. You will be live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram when you ask the question. So if you ask a question, just know that you're going to be live. Let's see. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse end up being misdiagnosed with BPD or bipolar disorder. Yeah. Yep. And some of it is actually complex PTSD or PTSD. So a lot of times, difficult conversations, a lot of times, and I agree with that, because a lot of times I've had people that were in relationship or situationships with narcissists, and they were diagnosed with borderline personality disorder or bipolar. And really, when I began to dig in and realize that they were dealing with a narcissist and how malignant that narcissist was, it was not. They did not have a personality disorder. They did not have and was prescribed medications for bipolar. They did not. They had complex PTSD, and complex PTSD. If a person is back and forth, they look a hot mess. And really, there is complex PTSD. That's why therapists, you want to get with a skilled therapist that knows what they're doing and know what they're looking at, because people can be misdiagnosed. Absolutely. My covert narc fake ADHD to get a script written for Adderall. 9 times out of 10, because Adderall is, Ritalin, Concerta. There's some other ones. They're stimulants. And so people that are normally addicted to methamphetamines, because those are like amphetamine salt is also a medication, but a lot of those that are addicted to methamphetamines, they will go seeking legal meds like Adderall, Ritalin, amphetamine salts. Those are stimulants. That is the legal methamphetamines in the street. Is it true that narcissists don't teach their own kids about boundaries on purpose? Absolutely. They don't have boundaries. How are you going to teach something that you don't? It's like trying to get them to teach empathy. They can't teach empathy. They don't have empathy. Yeah. Do you have any tips on how to manage co-parenting with a narcissist parent? I did a video on co-parenting versus counter-parenting and parallel parenting. So I do have some videos on that. Okay, I got another question. I'm going to take this question and then I'm going to go. Hi there, Tim. How are you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Mr. Tim, can you hear me? Your microphone is off.
Oh, sorry about that. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing, sir?
Excellent, excellent. This will be a good one for you. I have a ex-wife who I've been away from for 3 years, and when she was in the house with myself and my daughter, which is her stepdaughter, she and my son, which is her she was mean to everybody, and I used to always have to find myself kind of defending them. But now she became somewhat like the best of friends with my daughter, and it seems like they always popping up on storylines from Facebook and my story and so on and so forth to try to. I think they're trying to get up under my skin. What do you think that is?
I don't have enough information to answer that question. I don't have enough information. I would need more. That would be more of a one-on-one question with you, because I would need to ask you more questions. So, I let you know, I don't know everything. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But, in some situations, I need more information in order for me to make a comment. And one thing I don't like to do, just haphazardly just make comments or give you my opinions about something that I have not enough information about. Right. Yeah, so that I don't know. She could be annoying. Who knows? But I have no idea. And then sometimes you got women that are just, let me think of the word. They're just women that are just, what's the word? I don't want to say the wrong word. Sometimes you got women that are just, they don't know how to have a relationship with a man. They don't know how to, not just have a relationship with a man. They never been taught to have a relationship with a man. They got problem with men in the first place. So, they look at you as an enemy. And when they look at you as an enemy, they're going to mistreat you, disrespect you, say whatever comes to their mind, with no regard to, relationship, respect, and understanding a man, understanding, how to, communicate with a man, because men do not communicate the same way that women do. Men have feelings too. Most people don't believe that. So, but I'm not able to answer that because I don't have enough information on that, that will require me to just ask you more questions.
Right. Well, okay. Well, I understand that. Just to give you a little idea, she's a cement, but also to get past that part. Now, I'm also dealing with trying to move on, and I have another young lady that's interested in me. Now, all of a sudden, I'm getting some anonymous fake pages that's reaching out to me and my new girlfriend that's making comments about me not being who I say I am. Don't trust him. Ask him where he was last night. Making statements like that that are totally fictional. And I hadn't been around this person who I think it is my ex in 3 years. So is it possible for they do these type of things, right?
Oh, absolutely. It don't matter. In their mind, you belong to them forever till death do us part. You are now her property, even though you have divine destiny here on YouTube said that's her with fake pages. I was thinking the same thing. I said, oh, that's her. And what it is in her mind, you are my property. So you don't have the right, and you will never be able. It doesn't matter. It could be 20 years. In her mind, you are hers. Now, eventually, it won't bother you. She may find another person that she invests her energy in. But at this particular time, I guarantee you, is her. And all she's doing is sabotaging because she sees you as her property.
Yes, definitely, because she's probably terribly angry because I should treat her real good, gave her everything I had, but she never reciprocated. She's probably miserable to the fact somebody else getting that good treatment.
Absolutely. You were her primary source of supply. So how dare somebody else get that supply that fuel that I was getting? Yeah.
Don't want me. Don't want nobody else to have.
Right. Absolutely. I don't want you, but yeah. And then if you have to, if it gets even more serious, you may have to prepare yourself that she may come and try to hoover you, to hoover you, and she still cares about you. Trust me, they do some really incredibly crazy stuff. And you're looking like, I cannot believe this.
Yes, but I'm going to tell you, you taught me too much for me to allow because when this first happened, I got a hold of your channel and I didn't let you go. And what I did is I shut her down immediately. I cut off all social media. I cut off everything. I was hurting. I was crying. I was miserable, but I never gave her the satisfaction.
That's
what gave her the doubt. So I'm going to thank you for that again.
You are so welcome. And I'm honored. Thank you, sir. We applaud our kings here, especially on our channel.
Yes, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I'm keep supporting you. Hopefully I'll see you one day.
I hope so too. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. What state are you in?
I'm in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. I'm Navy as
well. Okay. All right, sailor. Yes. Hold on. Let me think how my brother said it, because us is hua. For the Marines is hoorah, and then for the Navy it was what?
We don't have nothing.
I appreciate you, Mr. Tim. Thank you. You have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you. And then, Mr. Tim, we had some people up here. Hold on. Some people commented on what you said. Maddie Matthew said, even with the new supply, they won't. Divine Destiny says she's trying to sabotage your relationship. Absolutely. Let's see. You're welcome, Michaela. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. What is hoovering? I got some videos on hoovering. Let's see. You are welcome, LaTanya. Yep, it's like being in a Lifetime movie. Ain't that right? Isn't that right? Oh, that's all right. I knew you were talking about. Barbara Wilson said, go Navy. Hua Army. Let's see. I got lots of followers in Virginia. Thank you so much. So when I come to New York, y'all can come up there to New York to see me. It's 2024, but you can come to New York to see me unless I do 2 conferences in 1 year. If I can get enough people to come, I'll do 2 conferences in 1 year. Let's see. You have to email me. Can you be a person that attracts narcissists? Yeah, most of us are. Let's see. God bless you for Carmen. Thank you for what you do to help us get through. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I grieve the death of the illusion of the real person, never lived up to the illusion. Oh, absolutely. You got to think for a minute. What you're chasing is just like a person that's on drugs. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go. Dana said, go Navy, go Army. I love my military and police officer family. What was I saying? Hold on. Oh, you have to remember that when they presented themselves to you and started love bombing you to pull you in, it was an illusion of a person that didn't exist. It's just like drugs. You get high off of that first hit, and then you're constantly seeking that next high. You're trying to get back that original high you had. And so for most people, they say, I know that there's good in them. I know, because during the love bombing, you get pieces and parts of the original. I mean, not the original, but the original illusion that they presented. Yeah, it's a facade. And you're constantly running after that facade, and you're running after a person that never existed in the first place. Never existed. But listen, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off because I got some business to take care of. Listen, I'll let you guys know. Good night, Mr. Peter. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Yeah, they mirror us. So listen, for my conference on July 30th, the general session and VIP is now officially closed because I had to get a head count into the conference personnel. However, I am still I am still accepting payment for the online sessions. So those of you that would like to attend the online session in Zoom, you will be there for the entire conference online. Go to overcomingNarcissistAbuse.ticketleap.com and purchase you a ticket, and you will get to be there with us from like 7:30 until 5 o'clock when we end. And so go and support me, because the more you guys support me, the more cities I can come visit in 1 year. And some of you guys are wanting me to come to smaller towns, but it takes money for me to travel unless you're actually paying for my travel. Remember, this is paying for my travel to get to you. And so, those of you that want me to come, if you set up the venue and then you pay for my flight and my hotel, and then you pay me a speaking fee, then I will come to your venue. If not, then, when I set up the venue, remember, I got staff that goes there. I got a venue I have to set up, so I have to get to where you're going. And that's what pays for me to get to where I'm going to see you. So, you guys donate, come and register for these conferences. Like I said, online is still open until the 26th, because I have to because by the 27, 28, I'm traveling. So I don't have time to go and check all the names. Another thing too, for those of you that are interested, my mentor, my mother, she has a conference coming up in Honolulu, Hawaii. For those of you that are in Hawaii, those of you that can travel over to Hawaii, there's a conference from the 11th to the 16th. I will be there at that conference as well. From the 11th to the 16th of August, we will be in Honolulu, Hawaii, supporting my mother. It is her conference. And it is, if you go to destinyhelper.ticketleap.com, you will be able to pay the conference fee. And then remember, you got to get a hotel, and you got to get your flight over there. For the hotel, for the discounted hotel rate for the conference, if you go to Into His Chambers Global Ministry Facebook page, hit the event tab, and then go to discussion. When you scroll down twice, you just scroll down, and on there is got the hotel for the conference rate. Some of you guys may want to come earlier or stay a little longer. The hotel is offering a discounted rate. The conference rate, if you want to come a little early and stay a little longer, but you go in there and book your room. But go to go to destinyhelper.ticketleap.com, and you can get your ticket for the conference itself. We're running short on time. So if you want to make payments, you have to make bigger payments, but it's all going to be due by the 25th. And you can email destinyhelper12s@gmail.com, and the business development team will send you an email with they will send you a invoice so that you can pay. And so those of you, come on, if you could come out on Zoom and watch my conference on July 30th, you don't want to miss it. Those of you that are on here that are my VIP, I got a surprise for you guys. For when we go out to eat, I got a surprise for you guys. You're going to love it. And I am looking forward to meeting all of you guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. I appreciate you, and be prepared. I'll be coming to a city near you. Next year, I'll be in Los Angeles, California. And in 2024, I will be in New York. So in New York. And so I made up my mind. I was thinking Chicago versus New York. Never been to New York, so I'm going to be in New York in 2024. However, if you guys support me with this, generate enough funds where I can do two conferences at a time per year. So I could do 2 conferences in July instead of just 1 conference. And we can spread, during the year, we can just do more conferences, but I appreciate you guys. I really do. And my bucket list is to get to England, and I really would love to come to Australia. And so, there's other countries I want to come. I really want to come to England. Who is that? Honestly, Trina, I do. I want to come to England. That's on my bucket list, to do a conference in England, and then to come to Australia. I would come. Okay. Oh, my sister's here. Hey, Bishop Kathy. You're going to come to Australia and England too, right? You're going to come too, right? Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to come to Chicago. I just got to pick a date. Pick when I'm going to come to Chicago, okay? I got to pick when I'm going to come to Chicago. You going to England? You going to England? Yeah, me too. You don't want to go to Australia with them big spiders? Them big old giant bugs? Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to each of the kings that were here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night, Instagram. See you guys later. Good night, everybody. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Good night, everybody.